because if you compare other candidates like Atiku Abubakar is a nothing Muslim, so it was easy for Atiku Abubakar to make that decision. The only challenge he had was whether to pick from south or southeast or even southwest. So that was the decision he needed to make. And even from the south and southeast, they penned down some vice presidential candidate for him. And then from what was said, Nyesom Wike topped the list of that. But he decided to go for Okowa of Delta State, Senator Okowa from Delta State, which of course Nyesom Wike was very upset, and his supporters were very, very upset, because they felt that Nyesom Wike had contributed so much for the party, and having even come second in their presidential convention, that he should have been given that slot. But he decided to go for Okowa. He decided to go for Senator Okowa. But of course, we know Wike. Wike has his own antecedents. We know Wike. Most people say Wike is not very presidential. Sometimes he's suffering from what I'll call is logorrhea. That's mouth diarrhea. That is, he's suffering from excessive talkativeness. He doesn't know when to stop. He talks.
You are not doing it as if you want to take over power. PDP! Power! 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 PDP, you must not make mistake. You must have a courageous leader, a fearless leader, somebody who can withstand APC. And it is me. It is me. If you go and check the DNA of Godwin Obaseki, what we see in that DNA is betrayal, serious betrayal, and ungratefulness. The DNA of Obaseki is what? Betrayal, serious betrayal, and ungratefulness.
Yeah, so for you to kind of carry in, have such personality as your vice president, sometimes might not do well, for the presidency. It might not project the presidency in that kind of reputation. There's this image that the presidency should wear, and they probably feel Wike did not, fit into that picture, and then they decide to dish him for Senator Okowa. So though was controversial, but it wasn't toxic as what BAT is going through. So Peter Obi is from Southeast, so it was easy for him to pick a nothing Muslim. So that was it wasn't such a tough job in terms of the choice of the running mate. But for Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I can tell you it wasn't such an easy choice. It wasn't such an easy choice for him. Most people are also saying that he has not been consistent, that a president has to be consistent, a leader has to be consistent with his policy, because they, of course, trust Nigerians. They always go to the archive to bring things that you think they will not remember. Of course, even Senator Ahmed Tinubu even made allusion to that during his famous Emilio Kon interview in Abeokuta, when he said that
Yoruba ló kàn. Tá a bá dẹ̀ sá Yorùbá náà, èmi ló kàn.
He would have been the vice presidential candidate for the present president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, then in 2015, because he was he had everything for him to be the vice presidential candidate for the APC with General Muhammadu Buhari. Then, but he was dropped. They didn't buy that decision because he's a Muslim, and then President Buhari is also a Muslim, so he was dropped. So now, if Muslim, then was not considered. So why are you considering, why would you again in your time considering Muslim ticket? So most people are saying that he is not a consistent leader. So if then he accepted that Muslim ticket would never promote the unity of Nigeria. So why has he decided this time to go for a Muslim ticket, knowing full well that it will also not promote the unity of Nigeria? So that's one thing most people are saying. Then another thing they are talking about is that, for goodness sake, they'll say it's like the spirit of June 12th is upon us, because this was exactly what happened in 1993 during the Abiola and Kingibe aborted presidency, because MKO Abiola went for a Muslim ticket, which was Abagana Kingibe as at that time. But 29 years down the line, so many things have changed in Nigeria. Nigeria is more polarized than ever. Nigeria is fragmented more than ever. The problems of Nigeria now, it can't be compared to what happened in 1993. So why would you say that if it did happen in 1993, it can as well happen in 2022, 2023? But the dynamics are different. We are more fragmented as a people. We are more divided as a people. We are not united. We are not united. There's suspicion between the Muslim and Christian community. I mean, consider what is even going on. Fulani herdsmen, banditry, so many things that were not prevalent in 1993. They are all here now. What worked then in 1993 may not work in 2023. So that's what most people are saying, that decision that he has taken, it doesn't show political sagacity in that decision that he has taken. So that's what most people are saying. Another school of thought is saying that perhaps Tinubu wants to play identity politics, because being seen and known as a liberal Muslim, of course, we all know when he was the governor of Lagos State, what he was doing in Lagos. Tinubu would bring someone from the north to come and be the commissioner in Lagos. He happened to into his government, and then brought people from the north into his government, people from other states. That is a liberal Muslim, and he also has a wife who is a pastor. A wife who is a pastor is Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is a pastor, and they've been married for many years, over 40 years, and they've been together. He's a Muslim, the wife is a Christian. So they probably see him as a liberal Muslim. But that is not enough. That is not enough, because when it comes to national politics, you can never equate the sentiments of a national leader to what is obtainable at the state level. It can't be equated. It can't be equated. So even though they see him as that, majority still feel that he should not have gone for a Muslim ticket. So that's another school of thought. And then, do you think that Tinubu, is it because of fear of losing the election? From the calculation, because I know a lot of permutations, a lot of consultations, a lot of things must have gone into that, making that decision to go for a Muslim candidate. A very contentious, politically contentious decision, if you ask me. Because if sometimes fear can make people do things ordinarily they wouldn't want to, but as a leader, will you allow fear determine the kind of decision that you take? That's my question. If you're saying that if I go for a nothing Christian as my vice presidential candidate to run with me, how am I going to get the votes? Go ahead and take a candidate from a nothing Christian as your vice presidential candidate, and people will still vote for you. They not, so long as the person, the VP candidate, is from the north, irrespective of whether the person is a Christian or Muslim. It doesn't really matter. So long as it's from the north, you can always get your votes, because just like they said, when President Muhammadu Buhari picked Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, he still won. people didn't say, okay, because Yemi Osinbajo was a Christian, a pastor, for that reason they were not going to vote for him. But they voted for him. Sometimes they just say they vote for candidate who is the flag bearer of the party, not necessarily the vice presidential candidate. So that's what most people are saying, that you should not have allowed fear make him, and take that very contentious political decisions that he has taken, that in any case that might cost him the presidency. That's what most people are saying. Now, that is all that there is. So do you think Bola Ahmed Tinubu played a sentimental politics? Because I'm going to quote a paragraph from his submission as the presidential flag bearer after making the tough choice of picking a Muslim candidate for the to run with him in 2023 presidential election. He said, and I quote, this is from paragraph 27 of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech. He says, "May I say, especially to those who may be disappointed in my selection of a running mate based on religion consideration, I will not and cannot ignore the religious concern and ethnic sensitivity of our people to forge ahead as a nation towards the development and prosperity. We must break free from old binds, and we must recalibrate our political calculation to where competence and fairness matter more than deductive demographics." So do you think that was what he said? But do you think politics is about balancing? Politics is about balancing. So because most people are probably saying that the equation is not balanced if you're going for a Muslim ticket, because the Christian population in Nigeria is about 45%, 40 to 45%, even though the Muslim actually are in the majority. But there's a large chunk of Christian population in Nigeria. So for you to ignore that huge number for a Muslim ticket shows that you are not inclusive in your decision as a political leader. So that's what most people are saying. But for political balancing, he should have gone for a Muslim Christian ticket. So, but he has, from what I've read out on his speech, that for him to have gone for religious consideration, he knew that so many people would feel betrayed. Which way is appealing to those who may be disappointed in his selection of his running mate based on religious consideration. That is saying that he can never ignore the religious and ethnic sensitivity of our people. But people should know that in this time and age, that what should be the overall consideration for a position, instead of religion, it should be competence, character, and capacity. So that's what he went for. So my question is this: is this decision, is Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu trying to make us see what his presidency is going to look like? That his presidency will not consider people for positions based on religious or ethnic consideration? Because or does he want to borrow the templates of Rwanda run by the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, when he took over after the genocide, where Rwanda lost over 1 million people for ethnic and religious crisis? And today Rwanda people are not identified based on where they come from or the religion that they practice. So is Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu trying to copy that template for Nigeria? Will that work in a country that is so religious like Nigeria? I'm just asking. So you can see how highly religious Nigeria is. So for someone to want to gamble with that, do you think Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu indeed shot himself in the foot. Please let me know what you think by leaving your comments below for us to interact.